and welcome to Inside the Hoop. Welcome back, everyone, to Inside the Hoop. My name is Kim Christopherson, and I'm here with my friends Ginger McLeod and Deanna Lindley. How are you, ladies?
Good.
Yeah?
Hello, everyone.
Hey, we had a whole lot of fun last week, didn't we?
Maybe a little too much fun.
I think we need to be shopping buddies for just about anything.
Oh, absolutely. Having a
do it.
friend to shop with always makes it next level.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, we were talking about fabric shopping last
Yes.
week. We went to our local quilt shop and had a whole lot of fun. If you missed that episode of Inside the Hoop, it's never too late to watch. But we picked out some fun fabrics.
We did.
We've been working on our One Hoop Wonders. How's it
Yes.
going for you guys?
It's been going really good.
Yeah?
I feel like I love the way that you cut all of your pieces. They're all the same.
Mhm.
You stitch them. Once you've done one block, you pretty much have it down, and you just do that on repeat.
Yeah.
And it comes together really quick, really easy.
Yeah.
I like
oh my
that.
gosh. I cannot wait to see how
I
yours
know.
turns out.
I know.
We
it's
picked
gonna
some
be
fun
so
fabric.
Yeah.
Definitely. So last week we did the fabric shopping. We talked about different ways to pick fabrics actually and get them to actually go together, right? Sometimes that's the scariest part, but the most fun. We also had Deanna show us how to make a design board. And then this week we need to quilt it. We need to take those projects to the finish line.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to be talking about today on Inside the Hoop, is actually using Kimberbell's clear blue tile system to do background quilting on your home embroidery machine, as well as the new expansion large-scale design files, I should say, that are now available at Kimberbell.
Yes. Okay, before we get started, though, I have a question for you, Kim.
Okay.
This is the second expansion set that Kimberbell has designed.
Yeah.
What makes it different from the other clear blue tile
Why
sets?
someone would want it, I
Yeah,
guess,
why would
right?
someone
Yeah.
need this set?
It's a great question. I'm glad you asked. We actually do have a sampling of all three sets. So why don't you go ahead and
Okay.
pick that one up, Deanna and Ginger, and then I've got mine here. What Deanna is holding there is what we call the essential set. And now the essential set is, as the name implies, essential. That's what you're going to want to have no matter what hoop size you have. And that's because you're going to have the full color instruction booklet in there. You're going to have a USB with even more design files, some marking pins, and of course the tiles themselves. And those tiles go up to about a 6x10 hoop.
I think 8 by 10.
8 by 10. Okay,
Yes.
there you go.
So to
So
give
here's
you an
some
idea,
examples.
we have 8 by 10, thank you,
Okay.
a 4 by 4, and this
Is a 2x4.
is a 2 by 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
Little
And
tiny
that's
ones.
just a sampling of
Yes.
all the many
This one
tiles
has
that are in
a
there.
lot.
Right?
Yes.
So
It is the
those-
essential.
Anywhere from a 2x2 all the way up to, like you said, an
8 by 10.
All right.
Yes.
So essential set. But then we also realized that people have larger hoops than that 8 by 10. So we went a step further with the expansion set. And what Ginger's holding is called the expansion set. We'll call it number 1, right? Because we have a second one now. So this is the original expansion set. And why don't you go ahead and share a few of your samples from that? And then what sizes does that cover?
So this is an 8 by 12
Okay.
size, and then this is our 6 by 4. Oh, 4 by 12.
4
Sorry.
by 12. Okay.
And then in this package, it goes all the way up to an 8 by 14 size, and
Okay.
then border sizes, it goes up clear to a 6 by 14.
Okay.
So you can do lots of borders here and lots of fun larger sized hoops.
All right. So that's a great set to add on to your essentials,
Essentials,
right?
right.
Yep.
But now we've heard you, and we know that you guys, many of you have even larger size hoops. How lucky are we, right?
I
We have a
know,
large size
right?
hoop. Because larger hoops means less hoopings, and so we have created the brand new Expansion Set 2, which we're thrilled about, and I know you guys have been wanting this and are excited. It is finally now out, and this is going to give you 7 more tiles. In fact, let me open them up here. Oh, I've got some right here. We'll just take these. And this goes anywhere from like a 10 by 10 tile all the way up to, I believe it's a 10 by 16. Yeah, 10 by 16.
Wow.
And then, you know, anything in between that. So if you're one that with a top of the line machine that has the larger hoops, then the expansion set too is something that you're going to want to get. But
Absolutely.
again, that's in addition to that essential
Yes,
set.
you want to make sure you have this one first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So does
That's
that help?
fantastic.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It absolutely does. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. So, you know, I've just explained the difference there between those three sets. But Ginger, you're a product manager
Yep,
here
I
at
am.
Kimberbell. Why don't you go ahead and tell, you know, our viewers what goes into creating a new product at Kimberbell? How did we decide that this is what we needed to do next?
Well, we were listening to our Bellas and Fellas on our Facebook page and talking about all of the top of the line machines and these larger hoops. And we knew that there was a need to have clear blue tiles that would fit those larger hoops so that they can do it in less hoopings and
Yeah,
get bigger projects done.
I love that. Just as simple as that.
Just as simple as that, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm especially grateful because this does mean you can get things done a whole lot faster, right?
Yes.
And if you have those abilities with your machine, you want to be able to utilize those.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
But we didn't leave you out if you don't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because we're going to show you today, of course, how you can do them no matter what hoop size you have, how you're going to be able to finish off these quilts.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I think you kind of went through this, but just to reiterate to me for my newbie brain,
Yeah.
what are the benefits of using this expansion pack, these bigger clear blue tile sizes?
Okay, well, for the expansion set itself, you're definitely going to be able to quilt it faster. A larger hoop means less hoopings. You certainly can do something in a 5x7 hoop, but that just means more hoopings. And that's okay too. It can be done. But with the larger set, you're going to be able to get it done a whole lot quicker for sure. And then, of course, we have the large scale background quilting designs that are now available as well. And we can talk about that here in a few minutes.
Okay.
That's exciting. Okay, so just like the larger clear blue tiles, the large scale background quilting designs will help you finish your projects faster, right? Because they cover more quilt space at a time.
Yeah.
So our One Hoop Wonders book right
There we
here,
go.
they include a large scale swirl design when you purchase that book. And if you look at the samples we have from One Hoop Wonders, Kim's showing this beautiful quilt here. You can
I think we have
see
a few images too
Yep.
to share.
you can see that the large scale quilting design is more spread out and has less dense stitching to the regular background quilting. And the reason that we like this large scale quilting is it will make your quilt softer and cozier.
Yeah.
Spreading that out a little bit.
It's just a little less dense, right?
Right.
And certainly the background quilting designs that we have, you know, up to this point are wonderful, and we make
Absolutely.
big quilts with it. But this also certainly looks like you took it to a long armor. You did it with the use of clear blue tiles, but the beauty of clear blue tiles is that you're not able to see where this quilting started or ended.
Yep.
It all just flows together as if you did it on a long arm machine.
Yep.
Awesome.
I love it.
That is awesome. Okay, thanks for explaining that, Kim.
Mm-hmm.
And do these new quilting files only go with the large scale clear blue tiles, or can they be used on my smaller ones too?
Yeah, that's a great question. So with the large scale background quilting designs, the first thing I want to mention is that you're going to find those large scale designs on a navy blue fabric at Kimberbell. Let's go ahead and take a look at that, because those navy blue fabrics indicate to yourself, oh, that is a large scale
design.
background quilting design. And so those can be used certainly with the new expansion set. But the good news is that even if you have smaller hoops, you can still use those large scale designs even with a smaller hoop, as long as it's 4x4 or larger.
Okay.
all right?
Okay.
So just know, large scale background quilting designs, yes, it can be used in the expansion set too, but it also can be used in expansion set 1 and the essentials set. It
Okay.
can be used on all of those as long as it is 4x4 or larger.
Okay.
All right?
And we have a little infographic, right, that shows that.
Yeah, let's take a look at that here. And we'll put that, I think that's on our blog. We'll also maybe put a link to that. But there you can see, you know, where it kind of differentiates what tiles you can use on with which expansion set.
Oh, that's helpful. I like that. Thank you.
Yeah,
I like that too.
definitely. But now, on the other hand, you're going to see some background quilting designs that are stitched on orange fabric or light blue fabric. Let's take a closer look at that here on the screen. And if you see those are designs that only go up through expansion set 1. Okay, so those are the designs that are going to go up to an 8x14.
An 8x14 or
8x14 size.
Or smaller.
All right. So there's
Okay.
just the differentiator. The normal smaller scale designs are going to go perfectly with the essential set and expansion set 1.
Okay.
But the new large scale background quilting designs go with all 3. Essential set, expansion set 1, and expansion set 2.
Okay, Kim, thank you for all that information. Now, let's actually get to using those new tile sizes.
Yes,
Okay.
let's do it.
All right, you guys. So I have our quilt top here. Remember, we picked out fabrics at the quilt
Yes.
shop last week for making our quilt together.
Need a hand here.
Probably. I'm
Okay.
struggling. Look how cute that is. We stuck with the greens and blacks and grays. So I have this all laid out, and we used the arrow, and we did it in the 9x9 pattern.
Okay.
And so before we quilt it, though, we need to make our quilt sandwich.
Okay.
So I'm going to go make the quilt sandwich. All right, so we're going to make our quilt sandwich. So I've got our backing fabric here, right? And we're going to get it all laid out flat and nice and smooth. And then, of course, we'll put our Kimberbell project batting over the top. Now you could, to keep these layers like nice and smooth, you're going to want to iron them in between. Right, in between each layer. And then you could also use some spray adhesive or powder adhesive to keep your layers together. And then curved safety pins are always a good trick as well. But we're just going to make our quilt sandwich so that we've got everything lined up and flat and even. Now, the reason we love Kimberbell's project batting is that it already has the stabilizer in it. It's got a 20% scrim of stabilizer in it, so you don't need any other stabilizer in your quilt sandwich as you go to quilt this on your machine. Now that I've laid out the quilt sandwich, I'm going to turn it over to Kim and Deanna, and they're going to mark the quilt and get it ready for quilting on the machine.
All right, so Deanna and I are here to share with you the next steps in marking your quilt with clear blue tiles. All right, so you're going to do a series of markings with your water-soluble pen. Now you see that there's a little dot here in the center. You've got some crosshair channels. You've got a window that says size, and then you've got these little blue markings around it. Let me show you how simple this is.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to mark here in the center. Boom. That's where my needle is going to end up dropping, right smack in the middle.
Okay.
Then I'm just going to quickly mark my crosshairs, okay? And the one with the arrow, I'm going to mark only because that's going to indicate to me that that is the top of my hoop when I go to hoop it. So that's just helpful information there. Then I want to write what size this tile is. And how am I going to know the size? It tells me right there.
Okay.
But the reason why I want to put that in there as 4x6, 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 is because when I go to lift this off later, and then I go to my machine, I'm going to think, oh no, what tile did I use, right? Because you might use a whole variety of sizes of tiles. It's up to you.
Right.
So if you want to know what file size to pull up, which you do, the file size needs to match the tile size.
That sounds like that could
Mark
be a
the
rookie
window.
mistake.
Yeah, definitely. And now I'm also going to just quickly mark these little side tick marks.
Okay.
And notice I'm just doing it really super fast and just a little
Love it.
okay, little sound
it.
effects in there too.
Yep.
Are always helpful.
Makes it work.
Why do I mark the little sides? Any ideas?
No.
No idea? Okay, let me tell you. Because I want to lift this up and move it to the next place on my quilt.
And that's where you're
But
going to
if
line
you
it
think about it as a rubber stamp, how am I going to know where to place it? Well, I'll know because I marked those little tick marks.
Genius.
Right? There you go.
Genius.
So
Okay.
now I can go, oh, there's my little corner tick marks. I'm going to line that up, but it right up against the previous
bottom
one,
line,
right?
okay.
And mark again. Center, crosshairs, my window 4 by 6, and then, of course, my little tick marks again.
And on repeat.
Yep, and now I can move it over here, and again, and again, again.
Okay.
So again, if I were using a larger tile, I would do the
Let's
same
see, how
thing.
many?
I've got,
1, 2,
there's a few,
3.
right?
Probably like 9 to 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, if I had my larger tile, I'd do the same thing. I'd mark my center dot, my crosshairs, I'd mark the size as 10 by 16,
Okay.
and then my side little marks, and then I know to move it here,
Okay.
right? So, Deanna, why don't you go ahead and mark another one?
Okay.
So we'll
We're
put
gonna line
right
it up with
here,
this one.
there, and there.
Okay.
Now, I'll give you a little hint. If you make little sound effects, it goes
goes much
even
faster? Okay,
faster.
so
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Whoop.
Faster,
whoop,
faster. Whoop,
whoop,
whoop, whoop, whoop. There you
Whoop,
go.
there it is.
Yep. The other tip I want to give you is don't overmark, meaning like don't press so deep into your fabric with your marker that it's going to be tough to get out later.
Okay.
A nice light touch to your pen is going to be just what you need. It's going to be just fine.
Okay.
So yeah, you would continue this process of marking. It really does go by fast.
Okay.
So
Do you
no
have any
worries.
tips or tricks for getting these blue markings
Blue marks
when you're
out.
done?
Yeah. So basically, you know, we've tested this marker on every fabric you can imagine.
Okay.
It does come out. The problem happens is there might be a few issues going on.
Okay.
One, if you are really digging into that fabric without marker, it's
Okay.
going to be tougher to get out. So you want to have the light touch. But with that light touch, all you should be able to do is just spritz it with some spray bottle with some water.
Okay.
If that doesn't get it out, you could certainly soak it. If that doesn't work, you could spritz it and put a little bit of Dawn soap and
Okay.
just rub that in. Or here's another little tip. You can use some paper tape and lay that down underneath your crosshairs, right?
Ah.
And then mark directly on the paper tape, and then you just lift that up when it's time to quilt. So
There you go.
there's a few ideas for you, but it should come out.
Okay.
Should be a problem.
Okay.
Oh, and the other thing is, don't iron it. It's a
Oh.
water-soluble marker, right? If you iron
will
it,
set it.
it's going to set it. It's going to set it. So
Okay.
don't iron it. All
Okay.
right. Now we got to hoop this baby,
Okay,
right?
let's go.
Let's pretend through the magic of television that this has all been marked and we are ready to hoop it.
Okay.
So remember, we're going to start with our small hoop
Right.
since we marked it with the 4x6 tile.
Okay.
And if you have those plastic grids that come with your hoop, that you're going to want to get that out. If
Okay.
you don't have that, no big deal. I promise. It's okay. Because we do have a tutorial on how to find the center of your hoop without a plastic grid. And also there are machines that have like different positioning features, camera features that can also help you find the center.
Okay.
So no worries if you don't have one. But if you do, it is helpful.
Okay.
You're just going to separate your two rings. Okay. So this is your bottom ring, this is your top. And why don't you go ahead and hold
Okay.
that. You're going to hoop this all as one piece, just your quilt sandwich, right?
nice.
So I'm going to slide this hoop underneath here,
Okay.
and I'm going to find where my center dot was in this case. So I'm going to kind of position it about
Where you think it
there,
should be,
right?
okay.
And then I want to make sure and place
Line.
this so that this center on the grid
Lines up.
with the center dot. Super
Okay.
simple, right?
Yep.
Well, I got another trick for you.
Oh, good.
Okay. If that is becoming an issue, where you're like, this is hard to work with and I can't find the center, yada, yada, and it happens to all of us, trust me, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get some double-sided sticky tape, just
Yeah,
the kind that
it's
you
always
find at
around,
an
right?
office supply store, right? Or scrapbooking. And on your inner hoop, your top hoop, I want you to turn it over, okay? and place your double-sided sticky tape right there.
Okay.
Okay. And this is, you can use this over and over again. No big deal. All right. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to place my grid on here.
Okay.
All right. Now notice my bottom hoop is over here. We haven't done anything with that quite yet. Then I'm going to place this directly on top of that dot, that center dot, so I know where to line this up.
Okay.
Okay, right there. Press down. And then I can slide this under.
And this one doesn't.
And
move
this
around.
doesn't shift around. And
Genius, you
now
guys.
you can just hoop that. There we go.
There.
Okay.
Got it.
Now when I go to take it over to my machine, lift off the grid,
Good tip.
drop your needle in that center position, and then pull up what size of file.
4x6.
How did you know that, Ginger?
It's Deanna, but
Deanna?
it's okay.
How did you know that, Deanna?
It's so similar.
Yeah,
Because I wrote it on my
because you wrote it.
fabric.
That's right.
There
She
you
wrote
go.
it. Easy as that. Then quilt to your heart's content, and when that's done, you move it to the next spot, the next spot, and it's as easy as
Easy
that.
peasy.
Okay.
I love it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. And you guys gave some great tips for getting those marks out of the quilt, because I know sometimes those can be tricky.
Yeah.
Now, the very last tip we have for these quilts is if you want that classic quilt crinkle.
Ooh,
You know
what
you
we're
do.
talking
You
about.
know you do, yes. Then you're going to want to make sure that you wash and dry this quilt, and that will give it that really yummy,
Yeah.
homemade,
Soft,
soft,
cozy.
cozy
Mhm.
quilt feel.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely. And I know a lot of people, they think cozy, so they think like, oh, I want to put maybe minky on the back or cuddle fabric.
Mhm.
And they wonder, can you do that with clear blue tiles? And the answer is yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
go.
you can do that. So try it out when you get a chance.
Okay.
Okay. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for joining us today. It sure was a whole lot of fun, wasn't it?
It always is.
I hope it was for you too. And I hope you're making those one hoop wonders for everything, right, in your life. Next week, this episode is for you. Yes, you. It's all about relaxing and rejuvenating and feeling refreshed. We are talking Day at the Spa. It's Kimberbell's brand new event. Can't wait to have you join us for that. Be sure to like and subscribe to, our YouTube channel, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, all the places, so that you never miss an episode of Inside the Hoop. Until then, everyone, keep doing what you love and keep experiencing the joy of creativity. Bye-bye.